Here's a look at the new Boscam COBRA HD Compact HD video camera for FPV flying. This was sent to me by HobbyKing for review and should be available from HobbyKing very soon. In short, what it is a recording module here that records on a micro SD card that goes in a slot on the side in 720p or 1080p, and then it has a separate camera head which is much more compact and can be mounted remotely from the recorder itself, and also has little pegs for tilt. The entire unit weighs just about 50 grams with wires attached. The ribbon cable that connects the camera to the recording module is 7 inches long. In the package comes the camera head, the ribbon cable to attach it to the recording module. The micro SD card goes in a slot here and is not included. Comes with this generous amount of wiring that takes it to this modular plug, which fits in the familiar Boscam 5.8 gigahertz video transmitter, just like that. It also comes with a separate lead that can be connected to the auxiliary channel in your receiver to trigger the video camera record and pause function, as well as take still photos just by plugging this into your auxiliary or gear channel. Also comes with a separate power cord which takes the place of the multifunction cord here, wherein it provides just power and ground instead of power, ground, video, audio, and the camera trigger function. It also comes with a familiar mini USB cable to hook to your computer, and the USB plug is located right here at the end. This can be used to sync your videos, or the SD card can be removed if your computer has an SD card or micro SD card adapter slot. And one thing that's kind of nice about this is there are no menus to speak of. All of the functions are performed right on the hardware itself. The video camera is started and paused by pressing this button on the side as indicated. Still pictures, there's a button for that. On the other side is a switch for going between 720p and 1080p. Just flip that switch for whatever you want. There is a self-timer countdown 3 seconds. And there's a time display timestamp on or off switch right here. So those are 3 switches, 2 buttons, and that's pretty much it. The firmware can be reflashed and the time updated by flashing the necessary file to the SD card and putting it into the camera. Though it's not marked, I would estimate this to be about a 2.8mm lens, and it appears to give about 160 degrees field of view with 720p and 120 degrees field of view with 1080p. I'm not sure the intention behind the differential there, but you can use the resolution not only as an actual resolution setting, but also as a sort of indirect field of view adjustment for your camera. The good news about this cable is that it's very thin and could be adequately mounted right over the upper surface of a wing or fuselage, for example, and not contribute to the drag significantly at all. The bad news is that although it's extremely flexible in this axis and the vertical axis, both for mounting considerations as well as for a tilting function with the camera, it's virtually inflexible at all in the lateral axis. Therefore, a pan function with the camera is going to require an additional length of ribbon cable to be placed in between to allow some flexibility. As well, routing this inside the airframe may be problematic. As you can see, there is a moderate amount of flexibility, but not to the extent as you would get from a standard cable. Both ends of the ribbon cable are secured to the camera and the recording module by this little modular flip-down retention clip. On the camera side, this seems to hold pretty well. However, on the unit I got, the retention clip on the recorder module seemed to spontaneously disengage. Therefore, I needed to place a small piece of foam board against it and then tape that down to provide a secure attachment and connection to the recorder module. Now, the coolest thing about this product is that it is literally plug and play. Within about 30 seconds you can connect this to a plane and be flying, assuming you have the right video transmitter and receiver. This is the Boscam, also available from HobbyKing, and the module from the COBRA camera plugs right in, clips in, and then provides a video channel, ground, and power to the recorder module and camera via the cable here, and you simply need to hook up this power lead to 12 volts clean power on your aircraft itself. So the 12 volts will feed the video transmitter, sending your signal back to your ground station. Also sends power and provides ground to the COBRA recorder module and camera, video, audio, as well as it has this lead to connect to the auxiliary channel to activate your camera record and pause functions. So the COBRA HD camera, when paired with the Boscam 5.8 GHz video transmitter and video receiver, makes a very quick and easy and economical solution for beginner and casual FPV flyers. Here's the temporary camera test setup on the Axon FPV. I've used a metal mount with the ribbon cable folded down flat just behind the camera. Though this is a temporary test setup for me, it does illustrate a lot of things you shouldn't do, including facing your video transmitter directly into the relative airstream, bundling your wires next to your control receiver, as well as placing the video transmitter so close to your control receiver. However, I do have a satellite receiver in the tail. Here's some flight video from the COBRA HD camera at my usual local flying field. It's uncharacteristically overcast today, and you can actually see some rain falling in the distance. This video is recorded at 1080p directly on the COBRA unit. It's hard to measure this kind of thing, but I would say subjectively the picture quality is about 75% of that of a GoPro under similar lighting conditions. Even though the lighting was suboptimal, I found the video clarity and the color saturation to be actually pretty pleasing. I was quite surprised at the quality of the Fpv feed using the 5.8 GHz transmitter and receiver setup, better than a GoPro by far. I got a bonus crash test of the unit as my buddy did his first FPV landing and had an approach to landing stall. Neither the plane nor the camera were harmed. The price for this camera is not yet published, so I can't comment on the value for it, but I can say that the video feed for FPV is excellent and the picture recording quality in HD is pretty good. I am wary of the ribbon cable attachment, but it might work well from certain builders who need a very low profile FPV setup, such as for a flying wing.